In ancient Rome, power wasn't just something you had. It was something you wore, spoke, walked, and even died for. From kings to consuls to emperors. Rome's society was a pyramid, and where you stood on it decided everything: your rights, your risks, and even your afterlife. But what if you were born at the bottom? Could you ever climb it? Let's explore the hierarchy of Roman life and the few who dared to break it. Before emperors, before gladiators, Rome was ruled by kings. They held absolute power until the last, Tarquin the Proud, was overthrown for being, well, too proud. Rome vowed, never again. And so, the Republic was born. A system built on checks, votes, and hierarchy. But democracy? Not quite. At the top, patricians, the old money elites. They claimed descent from Rome's founding families, landowners, senators, priests. If Rome had a golden table, they sat at it. Below them, plebeians, the working class, farmers, bakers, soldiers, craftsmen. They could vote, marry, and serve, but they couldn't lead. Not at first. For centuries, plebeians fought for rights, and slowly they won. The right to hold office, write laws, and even marry patricians. That climb, it changed Rome forever. But could you rise all the way? Yes, but it took war, money, or words. Cicero was born a provincial outsider. He didn't have a noble name, but he had a sharp tongue. He rose through oratory and became one of Rome's greatest statesmen. Gaius Marius, a plebeian, earned his fame in battle. He was elected consul 7 times, something no patrician ever dared. And Epictetus, once a slave, became one of Rome's most respected philosophers. He couldn't vote, but emperors read his words. Rome had ladders, but climbing them, it wasn't easy, and it was rarely safe. For many, the fastest way up was with a sword. Rome's army wasn't just a war machine, it was a social engine. If you served as a legionary, you earned land, spoils, even citizenship, especially if you weren't born Roman. Generals like Caesar, Trajan, and Septimius Severus turned military glory into political power. By the empire, the army didn't just fight wars, it made emperors. The soldiers chose their leaders, and sometimes they killed them too. Roman women couldn't vote, they couldn't hold office, but they weren't powerless. Livia, wife of Augustus, shaped dynasties from behind the curtain. Wealthy women owned land, ran businesses, and even funded temples. In the shadows of Rome's great halls, women pulled strings no man could see. At the bottom of the pyramid, slaves. They were prisoners of war, debtors, or born into bondage. They built Rome's roads, cleaned its baths, taught its children. But even slaves had a path, however narrow. A freed slave became a freedman, often loyal to the man who freed him. Some became rich, some became Roman citizens. One freedman, Narcissus, became the emperor's right-hand man and wielded more power than many senators. When Augustus became Rome's first emperor, the rules changed again. Senators kept their titles, but real power moved behind closed doors. The emperor was princeps, first among equals, but over time he became a god on earth. By the time of Diocletian, Rome had become a divine monarchy. Class mattered, birth mattered, but more than anything, loyalty mattered. In Rome, class shaped everything: your job, your clothes, your chances. But it wasn't a prison. If you were brave, brilliant, or brutal, you could rise. Just don't expect it to last. Rome was a pyramid, built on law, blood, and ambition. Some climbed it, most stayed where they were, and a few reshaped it entirely. If you enjoyed this journey through Roman life, subscribe for more. And tell me, if you lived in ancient Rome, where do you think you would have stood?